Hello! Happy Thursday, or if you're watching this later, Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. Hello. This is One Table Live. This is One Table Shabbat. We are about to kick off our DIY Sangria workshop with Immigrant Food DC. So if you are getting excited to join us, to tune in, learn how to make sangria, or learn about sangria, get pumped. Hello.
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 Good team. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
So good and so excited for this workshop. Are you guys in the restaurant right now?
Yes, we're going to take off our masks so that everyone can hear us.
Okay. But good, modeling good social distancing behavior. Appreciate that.
We're trying. We are trying. Can you see us all right?
Yeah, you can see all three of you.
Okay.
Looks great. Awesome. Well, I'm so happy that you are here. Just a little bit of a explanation of what's going on for those who are joining us. This is part of our summer drink series. So we are exploring, deepening our relationship with the Shabbat ritual of Kiddush, which is a blessing over wine, by exploring different fun drinks this week. The sweetest way I think you can possibly drink wine, which is sangria. And we are so blessed to be joined by Immigrant Food, which is an amazing restaurant here in DC. I'm local in DC. I'm One Table's DMV field manager. And so I'm just so glad that you guys are here. Would you like to introduce yourselves? Would you like me to introduce you?
It's up to you. I'm happy to introduce us very quickly.
Great. Awesome.
Great. So hi, everyone. I am Tanya Ivanovich. I'm the Director of Communications and Outreach here at Immigrant Food. And to echo Annie, we're so excited to be here. We've partnered with One Table before on a DIY arepa night, which was really fun and exciting.
So good. Still thinking about it,
so
honestly.
delicious. And so we're very excited for the sangria, which I think is probably my favorite drink. So I am very, very happy and honored to be joined by two amazing friends and colleagues. So I have right here, Ruben Garcia. Ruben, thank you so much for joining us. You are an award-winning chef, entrepreneur. You have spent a lot of time with the food group, with Jose Andres, spending from everything, right? You rose up the ranks. You were, at the end, the creativity director, really second in command.
Oh, yeah, I came to stay 1 year, and
yeah.
we're 16 years later.
Amazing. So Ruben he's a Spanish native, so he's going to tell us a lot about the history of sangria, and a lot about all the folklore and how important it is in Spanish culture.
So excited.
And then I have Mile Montezuma, who is our kitchen head. Mile is our amazing kitchen head. She's from Venezuela. She led the amazing arepa night, and we're so happy to have you here. Thank you.
Yeah, so glad. Thank you so much that you're all here. And I just wanted to share that Immigrant Food is like an amazing restaurant. Their food is really good. Anyone who is here for the cook-along arepa can attest. Even when you make it yourself, their food is good. So that's pretty impressive. But you're not just like any old restaurant. You regularly partner with NGOs, and you're really inspired by culinary and cultural traditions of immigrants, right?
Absolutely. So we, what we like to call, we're a cost casual restaurant. So we're a fast casual restaurant because you can come grab lunch and a salad and a bowl. But we're also cost casual. So the cause of supporting immigrants and advocating on behalf of immigrants is embedded right into the business model of this restaurant. So the restaurant wouldn't be here without the cause of immigrants. We partner with 5 local immigrant service NGOs, 5 amazing NGOs, which we help in 2 ways, basically. One is pre-COVID, we would donate parts of our space to them that they could use. Actually, the space where we are right now, they could use for training, like volunteer training, or English lessons, citizenship classes, whatever they needed. And then second is you as a customer can also engage with them directly. So we offer an engagement menu, what we call, which is now turned virtual during COVID, where you can donate, you can sign up to volunteer, you can sign petitions or whatever else is going on. And then we are also during COVID, we started really going in overdrive with these type of fun events like what we're doing right now, but also events on immigration. So we also partner on important events. For example, we had an event on DACA and the Supreme Court right before that big decision was announced in June. So we have lots of programming as well.
Wow, so much. You guys, like One Table, constantly busy, constantly innovating. Love it.
You have a great team.
And yeah, and today we're focusing on sangria, and we're focusing on the history of sangria, how to make sangria, and really making it your own. One Table is all about empowering people to have your own experiences. So whether you are watching this live or you're watching it later on Thursday or anytime on Friday, in preparation for Friday Night Magic for Shabbat, we are going to be, folks in DC have gotten like a kit that you can cook along with. But we know folks are tuning in from all over. Please put in the chat where you're tuning in from. I want to shout you out. And so we're going to be making sure to clarify if you don't have the kit, which most people won't, how to follow along, the amounts, all of that stuff. So you will 100% be on board.
Sounds great.
Okay, how far away are you from the kitchen right now?
We are on the upstairs space, so the kitchen is right below us.
Okay, so how are we transitioning to actually making stuff?
So we have everything we need right here in front of us. We can prepare.
Oh, amazing.
Right.
And so Mila is definitely ready. So we're making 2 sangrias. So we'll start with the red sangria. But before that, I think we have to make the syrup.
Yeah.
Is that right, Mila?
Yeah, because the syrup takes time. So before that, we have to make the syrup. So we have our pot here. Induction.
So you
And
should
this
have gotten
Yeah,
your...
the sugar like this for your syrup.
It's about a cup and a half of sugar.
Yeah, and
so
the spices. There is cinnamon, star anise, allspice, fennel seed.
For folks who might, I know I don't necessarily have star anise like in my kitchen all the time. Are there like good substitutes or like other? I think most people probably have cinnamon, so that's definitely easy. Are there other options that people can use?
Other kind of,
Yeah, whatever spices that you want. And the water, there are three quarters of cups of water. Put in the water and just mix.
And what's the heat, Mila? How
They're
high?
like low temperature because we just want to this all integrate with the flavors and all that.
Okay, great. I'm gonna go ahead and do that too.
Great. And I'm actually going to zoom in so you all can see exactly what Mila is doing. So this is what it should look like.
Yeah. Just leave it there and it's going to boil for a few minutes and then it's going to be ready.
Great.
So we're pouring in. We got the water. We're pouring in the sugar and the spices all at once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
And I assume you don't want a big clump of sugar just sitting there, right? We're mixing it up and stuff.
Are we mixing it?
Yeah, you have to mix it. Just mix it and leave it there. It's going to boil for a few minutes and then it's going to be ready. Low temperature.
Low temperature?
Low
Yeah.
temperature.
Great.
Okay.
And so while that's going on, I think we can start with the red sangria, right?
Yeah.
Great. So, Mila, why don't you walk us through what we do?
Okay. We have our wine that you receive in a pouch.
So this is what kind of red wine would you recommend? And again, jump in.
well, so, in Spain, the uva tinta, what they call in Spain, which is Tempranillo, it's the most popular and the most grown grape ever in Spain, and basically it's mostly based in Rioja. Okay. Obviously, there's other kinds of, but traditionally, because that was the easiest grape to grow, the more friendly to grow in Spain, so that's why you can find so many wines around Spain with that wine, the Tempranillo.
Right.
Yeah.
And Annie, what wine are you using?
What kind of red wine?
Yes.
This red wine, which I
This
poured
red
into
wine,
this
that's
glass.
awesome.
Honestly, I buy all of my wine at Aldi, so I am not the right person to ask about fancy wines. This is going to be a test to see.
Sorry?
I was going to say it's going to be a test to see if your recipe is so good that it can make even Aldi wine taste really good.
But we were chatting before, and I think the whole point of sangria is to use kind of bad wine, quote unquote, right? You're not supposed to use the fanciest wine.
Obviously, you don't want to add sugar to a $40, $60 bottle, or
I guess that's true.
That's common sense.
Yeah.
Well, what we need to keep in mind of sangria, sangria is really popular in Spain. We make it popular in Spain, but and we call it sangria. But before sangria, there's something else, happening in the entire Mediterranean. Greeks and Roman, they brought, the wine, the grapes to the whole Mediterranean, and they have, a wine before it wasn't what we know today. You know, it wasn't a refined and delicious product as we know today. You know, it was something really rough. It was just basically something alcoholic that you drink to find the gods. You know, and in some occasions they mix it with the sugar and the spices, and that's the beginning of the sangria, no? And that, you know, that knowledge, you know, travel all the way in Mediterranean and you know, Portugal and Spain. They are the well knowns, you know, of sangria right now in the world.
Great. So we're starting with our red wine.
Yeah. We have
Hold on
our
one
red
second.
wine here.
Hold on one second. Before we jump into the red wine, there were a couple of questions in the chat just about amounts and things like that. So how much sugar and how much water with the spices?
So for the red sangria, how much wine is in here? How much
16 ounces.
16 ounces.
Okay. And for the simple syrup, how much sugar? It was about a cup and a
One
half
and a
of
half
sugar.
cup. One and a
Okay.
half cup of sugar. Yeah.
And how much water?
3/4 of a cup.
3/4 of a cup. Okay, awesome. Just catching up with folks who are watching it later.
Yeah, you know, you
Okay.
can see I'm a little far, so you're.
Yeah, I got it. I got you.
Yeah. Great.
Okay, so yes, we need our beer.
So we're using this Venezuelan beer, of course.
Of course. There's beer
Beer.
here. Yeah,
I
you're
never
not
saw,
agree?
I never saw beer in, but hey, feel free.
So it's not
Okay.
traditional juice beer, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's gonna be delicious.
But this is immigrant food. It's a fusion.
It's a fusion.
Absolutely.
So we're putting a cup of beer.
1 cup of beer.
It's
Okay.
any lager, right? What
Yeah,
kind of
any
beer?
lager.
Any lager of beer. So really anything.
So like Gansett, we're talking like PBR, like
Just the
bad
light.
beer.
Yeah, just the light beer is totally fine.
Okay.
So
But yeah,
it's verified for here.
yeah,
They
that's
can
so we
see it.
can see it. Yeah.
Are
So
you
we're just
ready?
gonna pour it in a see-through cup.
That's very clever. I only have this one pitcher, so this is what I'm using.
Well, we're lucky. We have a whole kitchen, Annie. We have a
Yeah.
whole professional kitchen here.
So yeah, we have it here. And
Okay.
then we're adding 4 ounces of agave or honey, whatever you have in home.
4 ounces.
Okay.
Because some people like more honey. So we're
And
very
how much
agave.
is 4 ounces if you don't have a scale? Like if you're using measuring cups or
I think like half cup.
Half cup.
half a cup? Okay. What would be the difference between using agave and honey?
Just flavor, but it's depending on what do you like, yeah.
Okay.
But you mentioned using sugar. Is this more the healthier?
No, I mean traditionally we just sugar, you know, sugar and cinnamon. That's the most common spices. The most common spice we use and citrus, you know, because south of Spain is rich on citrus. So, you know, what we need to understand about sangria is that it all depends on what area of Spain or what area of the Mediterranean you're gonna be using the spices and the fruits that you have, you know, with you. So, if you do sangria in Mexico or Latin America, you put agave. It makes sense. Yeah?
Right.
We're doing a mix.
I'm just thinking my personal challah recipe, when I make challah, I use honey. So I'm gonna put honey in the sangria to go with the challah. But now I wonder if I should be making my challah with agave. I wonder how that would turn out.
Let us know how that goes. Try it. Wait.
Okay.
This is the
So the
orange juice.
beer-
You have to receive this in your kit. So this is 5 ounces of orange juice.
Just
Okay.
orange juice
Yeah, without the pulp.
without no pulp.
No pulp. Yeah.
Okay. No pulp orange juice.
I mean, I'm sure you can do it also with pulp.
Yeah,
right? If you
yeah,
want it.
depending on what they do.
Right.
You'll get a pulpy sangria, I suppose.
That would be interesting.
And this is the wine in here too? I missed that. The wine
yeah,
is in
so
with
we
the beer or
started
not
with
yet?
the wine. So we started with
Okay.
the wine, added the beer, and then added the agave, honey, whatever, and then the citrus mix, the orange juice.
Okay.
And so we just
Just mix
stir
it.
Yeah.
You see,
And that's it.
And that's it. Yeah, but we need to mix the fruit.
Of course, that's the very important part.
The very important part. So, but let's wait for honey.
Yeah,
She's
Annie,
mixing.
You're mixing.
I'm mixing. Okay. And what fruits are going in this?
Now we're doing the fruits.
Yeah.
And
So
on
what
the
kind of
side.
fruits do we
I
have?
missed
We
the
have
fruit.
pineapple, we have mango, and we have apples.
Okay. Apples, pineapple, and mango.
Yeah.
And if I just have tropical blend frozen fruits from Aldi,
Awesome.
should I do
Available
tropical?
year round.
Should I do tropical or berry for this one?
Depends. How do you feel today? Berry or tropical?
I like both. I'll do tropical.
Okay.
Is that
And how much fruit?
Fruit, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Always
these
fruit.
types of mango.
Normally, because we drink, normally you drink sangria in summer because it's really hot. You have peaches.
Right.
And you do with
Yeah,
peaches.
peaches season.
And then the peaches, they take all the flavor.
Right.
I mean, I fight to drink the beer, the sangria, just to eat the peaches
Right.
because that's.
And then it's filled with alcohol too.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
If you don't have the pre-measured fruit, how much fruit should you put in? Like a cup, half a cup?
Like for us, we are putting less than 1/4 of cup because it's 2 ounces of each. Because
Okay.
for each glass, we are putting just like 1 ounce of fruit.
Okay, so maybe like a quarter of a cup, not very much?
Yeah, it's not a lot.
Okay.
Should we put
That's
the ice first or the fruit first?
I
Or we gonna
think-
put the fruit in there?
You want me to put the
Yeah,
fruit
let's
here?
put the fruit in there. Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Because when we serve it here,
Don't change the recipe.
I know.
She's
I'm not a recipe follower.
She's
I
Yeah,
me
I'm
neither.
really not.
Me neither. I
But
write
I'm not
recipes,
quite
I
as
don't
good
follow
as
them.
you.
We're seeing
And I
innovation
yell my
live,
rules,
people.
You should follow the recipe. I don't.
See, I don't do that last part.
This is live culinary
When I'm
innovation.
home alone, I don't yell to my crew.
You can yell yourself.
Yes. I do that.
Why not the recipe? Okay. So let's add the fruit here. Yeah. So we're putting the pineapple,
Okay. I'm very excited.
apple.
I saw someone in the comments say berry for red, but I'm not following those rules. I'm doing my own rules.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
What kind of fruit do you have in your tropical mix-in?
It's pineapple, mango, strawberry, and papaya.
Oh,
Perfect.
That's
Yeah.
That's very exciting.
So yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That's great. So we should put some ice in our cups, right? Because we're gonna
Yeah.
try this.
Yeah.
I'll pour myself. I'm saving mine for Shabbat, but I'll pour a little bit and try it now.
Part of the actual try. So ice, is this old, like very traditional in Spain, or is this like an Americanization of something?
Ice?
Yeah.
No, yeah, ice always.
Okay.
Of course. You know, you want to have your sangria really cool.
Right. Just one of the things when I came to America was that Americans put ice in everything, and that was sort of a shock to me. Right? I don't-
Something you need to keep in mind is like, so if you drink sangria right now like that, it's gonna be too sweet, really sweet. And the fact that you want it really sweet is because then when it gets diluted with the sugar, there's gonna be a balance. It doesn't feel like watered down. So the sugar always gonna give you that mouth coating and not feel like, oh, this is watered down. There's some flavor on it.
Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting.
So I know you said that.
That's a good trick, yeah.
I know you said that this can sit for a while. What will change in it if you let it sit like overnight or for a day or two? And where do we keep it overnight? In the fridge or on the
For
counter?
the white sangria, no? Or also for the red?
The what? The
To
less-
let it sit for overnight?
I mean, it's depends on what you like. Now it's going to be more sweeter.
I mean, you need to keep in mind that it's wine, and wine at the time you open the bottle, you take it, it's gonna start oxidizing.
Right.
So it's better if you drink it the day because you're gonna have all the flavors from the wine really fresh without oxidation.
Yeah.
And the fruit can oxidize as well.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
So in us, we personally like to add a little bit of
Sparkling water.
carbonated water. So
Is that
Okay.
Italian water?
this is Immigrant.
Oh my goodness! What's going on with my sangria?
This is the real secret ingredient, people. Is what kind of water you use. Or water,
Just a
as we
little
say in
splash.
Philadelphia.
Splash, yeah.
Yeah, carbonation is always good. I put Sprite on it. So
You put
that's
Sprite
all.
on it?
Yeah.
Well, that's non-traditional.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
And-
sugar too.
How much of the simple syrup went in here?
So no simple syrup here,
No
right?
simple
No,
syrup
this is
in
the
this
red, and then we'll move to the white.
Yeah, because
Okay,
we already
great.
put the
It's still
agave.
going. I'm like, it's not ready yet.
Yeah. How is the simple syrup looking for you, Annie? Are you stirring? How's it
I
looking?
am stirring. It's mostly clear. There's a little bit of sugar on the bottom still.
Okay. Let me show everyone just so you know what it should look like at this point. If you can see.
If you're looking for the recipe, all the ingredients are online on the Facebook event on the One Table website. Wow, that looks good. That looks better than mine,
Yeah.
but I'm sure mine will turn out fine too.
I'm sure it will.
A little side note here. You don't want to cook the syrup too long because it's not you're gonna concentrate. You're gonna end up having like something like really rubbery, you know.
Yeah, we don't want like
And
caramel.
if you keep going, you're gonna do caramel. So
We
it's
don't
up to you.
want that. We're not making candy.
Be creative.
Yeah, now that we have the red ones,
Do it.
we can strain this one.
We can strain it. Well, do
Yeah.
you want to
Wait,
cheers
I'm gonna
first?
drink my
I really
sangria
want to
first,
try
okay?
this.
Oh, first at work, huh?
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
You need to look at the eyes.
Any?
Okay.
Oh,
It's the eyes for good
Cheers.
luck. Everyone
Yeah.
looking at the eyes for good
Yeah,
luck.
yeah.
Okay. So cheers. Mm.
Oh, it's really good.
Mm, that is really good.
Yep. Is everyone following, trying the wine too?
If you're just joining us, I've seen a lot of people join us in the last couple of minutes. We
Yeah.
are doing a DIY sangria workshop with One Table, of course, and with Immigrant Food, which is an amazing restaurant in DC. So we are just about finished up with the red sangria. So if you missed that, watch it later. We'll be on IGTV. And are we going to hear a little bit more about sangria and then move to white?
Yes.
So what do you think about the beer? Do you approve it?
Check.
Okay.
Thumbs up. All right.
It's really good.
Great. So I wanted to ask you a little bit. Also, I mean, you talked a bit about the history of sangria. So this clearly didn't start in Spain, but Spain popularized sangria.
Yeah. If we talk about sangria, we need to understand that sangria is wine. No, so to understand sangria, we need to know where the wine is coming from.
Right.
No? So the early dates of that we know that production of wine, it was 3,000 years before Christ. Okay, and that was in Georgia, not Georgia, U.S.
Right.
Okay. So and then so it went. Then Greeks, Romans, and they took it to the peninsula of Spain. Obviously, Rome, the Greek Empire of Rome. So they took it. The shores had to grow the grapes, and it stays in Spain. So what we're saying before, we need to understand that wine it wasn't as refined as it is today. So wine it was something that was just a grape wine fermented. That it was an alcoholic drinking that it helped you to communicate with the gods. And so at the same time, we need to keep in mind that in different parts of in the world, but especially we're talking about Europe right now. Water it was a big problem, because if you don't have running water, in a river, or you live in the sea, so the water when it doesn't move, it creates bacteria. So people were drinking wine,
Instead of water.
instead of water, or mixing the wine with the water, because the alcohol was killing the bacteria.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, and then
So
because
it's safer actually than drinking water.
exactly,
Yeah.
so then because you add water,
More fun too.
you lose all the flavors, or they start adding sugar, and depends of where you live in Europe. You just use the spices that you have, no? So you asked before, I don't have star anise. It's okay. We don't grow star anise in Spain. We haven't used it. Maybe there's using right now someone star anise. That's okay, But normally the tradition is that you use sugar and you use cinnamon. That's all. Okay.
Sugar, cinnamon, and then whatever else you got in your kitchen.
Exactly. And then the fruits. So it depends on where you are. We're talking, summer. So you have stone fruit. So you use stone fruit. And that's why, the most of the traditional recipes that you see from Spain, there are stone fruits on it, But, it's like, so everything started, in the Roman and Greek Empire. And that was basically, it was kind of similar to the mulled wine that we know in Europe. So kind of everything have relationships,
Sure, of course.
Yeah,
Like every food, right? All food
exactly.
has a relationship and
Exactly.
fuses as time goes on.
Exactly.
So just for people that are joining, so this is Ruben Garcia. We're very happy to have him as our guest tonight. He's a star chef.
I'm a sangria expert.
You're a sangria expert. One of many things. One of
I'm so
many things.
humble too.
And so, Ruben, how did sangria become popular in the U.S.? When did it come here? When did it get here?
So that was that's a good story. That was in 1964, the World Trade in New York. Spain
So
came.
specific. Okay.
Spain came.
Is there a date? Can we celebrate like the day that Sangria came
we
to
can
America?
look at that. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, we can do that. So in 1964, World Trade in New York, so they buy Spain and they come, and obviously we do all the Spanish tradition. No, one of them it was obviously paella and the sangria. That's why, why around the world, always is the relation. Oh, so you're thinking about Spain, you use the sangria and the paella, yeah? So that was the first introduction of sangria to the US and to the world, actually, because everyone was visiting and,
So it's pretty recent. I mean, it's very recent
Yes.
that it's moved to the U.S. That's very interesting. And you also mentioned before that sangria in Spain is sort of connected with freedom as well.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit more about that.
That's a fun story. So, at the end of the 70s, so that was when Francisco Franco, the dictator of Spain, 40 years, almost 40 years of dictatorship of Spain, finally he died. Mother Fletcher.
Harsh,
Okay.
but
History
okay.
lesson here.
So he died, and what happened? So Spain, there's an evolution in Spain towards to a change of government, the democracy. Okay, so the country all of a sudden opened their doors to the tourism, and the first tourism that we get into Spain, there are two operators that they're operating with Norway. Okay, so Norway, they came crazy looking for the Mediterranean sun, and they get to Spain, and that was the first time Spaniards they saw someone in the beach wearing a bikini.
Really?
Okay? So you can imagine. Okay, you can imagine.
Yeah,
so,
I would be pretty
so
scandalized if I'd never seen a bikini before, for sure.
So the old generation, obviously, they didn't understand that. But the new generation, the younger generation, they took that as an interpretation of freedom and a sexual revolution. Okay, that we call it in Spain el destape. Destape means that when you open something, it goes. Okay, so the young generation is the world is bigger than Spain. There's things that are happening outside of Spain that we don't know. Let's welcome them. Let's bring them here.
Right.
Okay, let's learn from them. At the same time, so we need to feed them. They were like big groups, and the best way to feed a big group always, where is it? Paella. You cook a paella, you can feed like a 4, 5, 20, or 300, depends on the size of the paella. And obviously that was with wine and with the sangria, so it makes sense, no? So all of these tourism that was visiting Spain for these years, at the end of the 70s, the memories and the experience that they bring it back to their countries, it was sangria and paella. So that's why it's so popular. The sangria. That we know that sangria is from Spain.
Right.
So it was just the perfect timing. And we took pride of that.
Yeah. You used the opportunity.
Yeah.
That's great.
I love that.
Well, Annie, what do you think? Should we move on to the white sangria now that it's been enough time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to share just like a little piece about what we're doing for folks who've tuned in, and also I just love that idea of sangria, saying it right, being about freedom and openness, because we talk a lot about at One Table about how Shabbat can be whatever you need it to be in the moment, but especially a moment for release, for relaxation, for reflection, for like opening yourself up to the possibilities of the way that the world could be, ideally better than the way that the world is right now. And I often think about wine being, with the Jewish intention of wine being joy and elevation, and I love mixing it in with the Spanish intention of like freedom and celebration and openness. I think that's just such a beautiful combination of values, and I'm so touched. So if you're just tuning in, welcome to One Table Live and Immigrant Food Live. We're doing a DIY sangria workshop. So we just finished the red wines. They were really, really good. If you missed that, you can tune in later. And we're about to start on the white wine. So at the very beginning of the workshop, we made some simple syrup with spices and sugar and water. And ours is just about finished. Mine is looking great. I just turned the heat off on the stove so it wouldn't boil. And I think we're just about ready to get started. How are we doing? We're doing great on time. I just wanted to share that you might notice if you're coming from the One Table side, I had a couple of questions about why we're doing this on a Thursday and not on a Friday, which is normally when we do things at One Table. So you might notice that the One Table live schedule is a little bit lighter this week. And the intention behind that is that we do Shabbat all the time. We're thinking about Shabbat, and so we wanted to take a little Shabbat to ourselves. But no worries, there will still be ritual happening on One Table's Instagram Live tomorrow. Our rabbinic intern, Erin Levin, is going to be doing some amazing ritual, as always, so do not worry. And of course, we're always here for you via email and all of that good stuff. I think we're ready for white wine.
Great, and then the video will be available if you want to make it tomorrow for Shabbat.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Great, so I'll zoom in one more time so that Mila can explain where we should be at this point.
It'll be like this.
So it's still pretty liquid, but a lot less,
Has to be
right?
liquid.
It's okay.
Mine is like liquid, but thicker. Definitely
Thick,
thicker
right?
than water.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we're draining it, right? So we get the spices stay.
Okay.
Strain it.
So for the strainer, we want something thick. I have two strainers, thick or thin.
Okay, ours is
It's a mini strainer, but yeah, it's
Oh my
pretty
god,
thin.
that's so cute! I want one of those.
Full disclosure, Annie, we just found it right before this event. I had to.
I love it.
this
I
kitchen
love
we
it.
have just super big utensils.
Yeah, we don't use mini utensils.
So we don't ultimately want these spices in the sangria itself, right? So that's why we're straining it out.
No. We just want the liquid, the syrup.
Just the syrup.
The spices in the simple syrup. Someone missed that part. Can you say again what's in the simple syrup?
Yeah, the
spices?
ones that we are using, you can use whatever you want. We're using cinnamon, allspice, fennel seeds, and star anise.
Awesome.
And so
as
Ben,
I learned earlier.
Sorry, no, I just was
I
going to
was gonna say,
say
we learned
in
earlier
history, I doubt that people had like strainers and all of that, right? So they put in also the spices.
They use socks, thick socks, and
Really?
Socks.
I don't know how to strain it. I don't know.
But so they had the spices in there. I'm sure
Yeah,
it's not a big
probably.
deal. So
Probably.
if you don't have a strainer,
If you find a spice, just put it aside.
yeah. All right, sounds good. Oh yeah, that looks great.
Yeah. You want to show them?
Yeah. Let's show them a little bit.
Okay. No, it's
If
No.
you can see it. Yeah, I don't know if you
With
can see
a,
it.
No.
maybe like that. You can see that.
Okay. I might maybe made too much. Mine is like 2 cups of simple syrup. I think that's too much.
you a little bit too much. For tomorrow, save it.
Yeah. I'll find something to use it for.
So we have the wine. Here are 32 ounces. Sorry, 26 ounces.
26 ounces.
Yeah. Because
26 ounces, so that's almost twice as much as there was of the red.
Yes,
Or
because
15.
here
Okay.
we are just adding this.
We're not
Okay.
adding the beer and the citrus, the white
So
juice.
yeah, we are just adding 3/4 of a cup of syrup.
And so what kind of white wine should we be using here?
Definitely something really fresh and crisp. You know, you want acidity.
Right.
You know, you want a wine that brings you some acidity because you're gonna add sugar, so it's balanced better.
So again, nothing too fancy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You can do with cava as well.
I think
With
this
cava is
one
really
as
good. Yeah, with prosecco. You know,
Okay.
you can do with prosecco. It's really good.
Interesting.
So
Prosecco is not from Spain.
I say cava or prosecco. I
I
mean, I'm trying to be international.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
I mean, you are beer. You know,
Okay, so we have different fruits again.
Yeah, we have
And
mango.
you're oh no, don't worry.
But you can help me.
No, I'm
I'll help
gonna be helping with the drinking. That's really
I'll
what
help
I
you.
feel
Yeah,
like
I know
I'll
that's
do
your favorite one. We're integrating this here, but we have mango, we have peach, that you was talking about peach, and pomegranate.
pomegranate.
So is there a reason why we had 3 yellow fruits in the red, and now we're sort of doing yellow and red? Like,
It's more for the color part.
okay,
Yeah.
there's no real reason
Yeah,
for it.
no
Okay.
reason.
Again, whatever you have at home. So.
Yeah.
Annie, what are you using? The same mix?
well, let's see.
Yeah.
Should I use my berries this time, or should I use my tropical mix?
That mix
Ooh,
it.
Use the berries. Use the
I'll use the
berries.
berries. And how much should go in here? Half a cup or a quarter of a cup of the fruit?
Again, 1/4 of a cup.
1/4 of a cup.
Okay.
All right. That looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that looks delicious.
water, it wouldn't go in. Okay.
All right, so same thing. We're just gonna have some ice.
Oh wait, I missed the simple syrup. How much simple syrup are we putting in?
3/4 of a cup.
3/4 of a cup. Okay.
Do you know why they call it sangria?
No, why?
Sangria means blood.
Oh.
It looks like blood color, you know?
Oh wow.
Sangria.
What does that mean for white sangria?
Yeah.
Wangria.
But it's not a word.
White sangria. It's you know, there's people who have blue blood, no?
Yeah.
No?
Royal.
So royalty blue blood is
I don't
that
think that's biologically accurate.
So, you want version?
I
No,
definitely.
she's working.
I
She
think I
cannot.
should try.
No,
Right? I
she
mean,
cannot drink. She's working.
I get inspired.
Okay.
Is it Hemingway who said you should be writing drunk and then editing when you're sober? So now this
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same. I think.
Cook, drunk, drink sober? I don't
I
know.
think you can apply it everywhere.
Yeah.
And so that's it for the white wine?
That's it, right? For the
Yeah.
white one?
For the white one is easy.
So I think it's just the syrup part that takes
Yeah.
a little bit of time.
Right, yeah.
And then do we add a little bit of sparkling water?
Yes.
A little.
If you
Little
like
splash.
a stronger sangria, you can put, I don't know what the chef is going to say, but you can put rum.
You put some white rum in there. Is that
Option.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
rum.
actually, sometimes the red sangria you add brandy.
Yeah. Okay.
Brandy. It makes sense, no? Because where you have production of wine, you have production of brandy because brandy is made from wine.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. Great. All right. Are we ready to
Amazing.
taste this one?
Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I made mine in a thermos because I only have one
I
bottle.
was looking at that.
Yeah. Cheers, Eddie.
Cheers.
Mm.
Oh wow, that tastes very classy. I'm gonna say.
Right? It is the royal, the blue blood white sangria.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that connection now. Which one's your favorite, Eddie? What do you prefer, red or white?
Oh, I think I liked the red better,
Yeah.
but the spices in the white are so good. I wish I could have like the complex spices of the white and the flavor of the red.
Well,
Maybe I'll have to
next time you
experiment.
can change the agave for syrup.
That's true.
Right. There's one thing we learned that sort of really you can change the recipe whatever you have at home, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Sangria is all about freedom, right? Just be like
Exactly.
free. Use whatever's in your kitchen.
Exactly.
That's
I
great.
love it.
That's great. So Eddie, have you made sangria before? Or is this your first time?
I've never made sangria before. This was my first time. It was not that hard. So I'm definitely going to be doing it in the future. Now I know what to do with all of my crappy Aldi wine. So thank you for that.
That's great. And can you use like older, does it have to be new fresh wine that you open, or can you use a bottle that's been sitting out for a couple of days?
Yeah.
You can really,
If the wine's good, that's still good, yeah. Absolutely.
it's good. Annie, I love your outfit. I was,
Thank you.
I
One table
forgot
flag.
I have a chef's jacket, not because I know how to cook, but because they gave one to me. And I wanted to wear it, I totally forgot.
She is my sous chef.
Oh,
Sometimes.
absolutely. We're lucky that I'm not. We're really lucky.
So what do you normally drink sangria with? I mean, other than just sitting around drinking it, talking, chatting, pretending like you're in Spain.
I think there's a very interesting history about eating food, tapas, with your sangria, right?
Yeah.
You should-
Yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of different stories about
Sure.
tapas, no? Tapas. One of the stories, I think it's Felipe the X.
King of Spain.
Yeah, Felipe the X, King
We're
of
really doing
Spain.
some history here.
Yeah, he have a weird sickness. Okay, so follow me.
Okay.
His sickness was that he couldn't drink a lot of wine, so he had to drink the wine sip by sip the whole day.
So he was a lightweight.
I will get sick too, you know.
Oh, that is what you have.
Ah.
So that's why you
Now
have
I
to
know.
you have a Felipe sickness. So basically, I don't know exactly what sickness he had, but he couldn't have like a big eating, so he had to eat like different times in the day. So he was drinking wine constantly and eating in a little portions every time that he was eating. So that's one of the theories they decided why the tapas. So then he required to the kingdom to do exactly the same because every time he was going to some bars or
Yeah, he didn't want to be left out.
so you know, a what?
He didn't want to be left out. I get
Yeah,
it.
of course. I mean, other theory is, you know, there's another king, Felipe. All of them are Felipe. I'm so confused. All of them,
Not too
even
creative
king
with
of
the naming
Spain,
practices.
yeah, is not Felipe. So I don't know what
Oh my
I don't know what's going on there. You know, I think they all live in a how you call it,
Tribal? No.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's weird. The fact is like people was getting like super drunk, obviously,
Yeah.
and
You
then
see,
there
You're
was
drinking wine all day.
Soldiers. Was that the story? That's the story I
yeah, you know, every time they go to the bodega or to you know a bar to drink, so everyone getting so freaking destroyed drinking.
because
You know, so
Sunday.
so then they have to go back to bottle, or they have to you know go back to work, or and it was a lot of accidents. So the king says, okay, that's it. So by rule, every time that you go to a bar to drink, you have to eat something before you drink. Yeah, and then that's one theory, and then another theory, which you know there's so many.
I love
Is
all the
that-
theories. Keep them
Because
coming.
another king went to Cadiz, and it was it was a venta. So venta is a place where you stay to eat and sleep. So it was really windy. It was on the beach, and then it was a lot of sand on the air.
Yeah.
And then so the bartender decided to cover the glass, and then the way to cover the glass it was with a piece of ham. Okay, and tapa, the translation of tapa means lid. Okay, when you lid, you cover something, you the lid of the pot. You know, that's a tapa.
Yeah.
You know, so he said, okay, let me bring you a tapa, let me bring you a lid, so we protect your drink. So then he likes the idea, and then he comments. Then he created another rule. Say, okay, so right now I want to eat like this. Okay. Different stories.
I love it. I love
this
it.
one, this last one, I don't know. It's kind of weird because why you wanna eat a piece of ham with sand from the beach on top?
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of it doesn't make sense.
I
But
think the one with the soldiers. I feel like
yeah.
that makes sense.
but there's in other cultures where you know, for example, dim sum. You know, the dim sum that we know today is not what dim sum was. Dim sum it was a place where you go drink tea and have talks with people. You know. But because you take so many hours sitting there and talking, you're hungry, so then they start creating these little bites that go with your tea. What we know about Insan today is completely the opposite. It's a place where you go to eat the little bites, and the tea kind of disappear.
Right.
You know, so it makes sense that you know the people were drinking a lot. And then they find out, okay, if I give you a little bites, I'll give you food, your drunkenness is going to balance
And
a
you're
little
going to
bit.
keep drinking, right? So
And
for a
then you're not
restaurant,
going
it's very
to
good.
drink.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's so much classier. The tapas are so much classier than like bar nuts in America, you know, like just peanuts or anything salty to keep you drinking. I love it. Maybe I'll put challah on top of my sangria tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, there you go. You can do that. That's a great
Exactly,
idea. Yeah, we have a similar thing. So my family is from the former Yugoslavia, so Serbia and Montenegro, and so we actually have a similar thing. But instead of wine, which is much classier, we drink rakia, which is a super, super strong alcohol. And so with that, you definitely don't want to have that alone. So you have a whole sort of platter of lots of different foods, and so you eat it with your hands. And definitely, I mean, alcohol brings us all together, right?
Yeah, so it's all, yeah, exactly. Alcohol brings it all together. Yes.
United at the table, which is what our motto is here at Immigrant Food.
Yeah.
United at the table. Maybe we can unite it at the one table.
Oh, I
Maybe.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, tonight we are united at the one table.
I love it.
I love it. I love it.
I think our politicians that should drink more sangria and get all everyone together.
Yeah,
you
you see? Yeah, we're
Yeah.
very we're neighbors with the White House, so maybe we can walk over.
To the-
Interesting neighbors.
Yeah. That's great.
We had a throwback question. Someone asked how much orange juice goes into the sangria.
5 ounces.
5 ounces, which is half a
3
cup?
quarters of a cup.
3/4 of a cup. Okay, thank you.
Great. Great.
Okie dokie, should we close out?
Yeah.
Okay, so I just wanted to say, first of all, thank you so much. This is so
Pleasure.
fun and interesting. I learned so much. I talked before about how it's so important to like be creative with your experience with ritual and to try new things and experiment. But it's also really important to learn the history of where things come from, because I feel like you gain so much more appreciation when you know where something is coming from, you know the history, or you know fun facts about it, even if the fun facts are, you know, theories, we're not 100% sure about them. It really deepens to me the experience of drinking something. And I'm just so excited that the sangria is going to be sitting in my fridge all tonight and all tomorrow. And every time I open up my fridge, I'm going to be thinking ahead to
It is
Friday
great
night
for breakfast. I'm just saying.
Good for breakfast. We'll see.
Good
If
for
there's any left
breakfast,
over, I'll have it
We
with
all
my
have that
French
thing
toast
that
on
feeds,
Saturday.
right? We just start at breakfast and keep going. It's great. Well, Amy, thank you so much. This was so much fun, and I love doing it with you too. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to, if we're okay on time, which I think we are, would love to close with an intention. One Table's resident rabbi, Jess Minnan, has wrote this beautiful intention about elevating time and space with drink. So if you'll indulge me, I'll read it to you, and then maybe we can close out with a toast.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Should sit down? Sure.
So she
Yeah,
she writes about how you can elevate space and elevate time simply by deciding that it is a time that you want to make special. And she says, pretty much all Jewish ceremonies and celebrations involve wine, and Shabbat dinner is no exception. But ritual doesn't exist for the sake of itself. It exists to accomplish something, almost like an ancient form of technology. While it's tempting to imagine that our sages simply decided to sweeten celebratory practices from births to weddings with wines, because, well, wine, they actually do it because the wine itself is like a switch. Flip it and we've set time apart. We've made it special, holy, other. It's not about the wine itself, although as we learned tonight, making the wine itself pretty great is pretty special. It's about what it has the power to do when we raise our glass with intention. That is the magic of kiddush from the Hebrew word for holy. Our ability to separate out time to say that this exact moment, which has never occurred before and never will again, is special. Cheers to that. So at my home on Friday night, we often preface the blessing over wine with drawing out blessings from our weeks. And so I would love to close here with a toast to something that you would like to toast to, whether that's something specific that happened this past week or something abstract that you're hoping for, that you want to infuse into your sangria and infuse into your evening practice. Do you have any ideas? Do you want to go?
Sure. I can start. I mean, I think I'm very grateful for this immigrant food family here that we have. It's been a really difficult time for us. I think for all restaurants since we had to, first close in early March and then sort of start back up again. Especially here with our location being right downtown, it's just very difficult because no offices means no people. And I think it's just brought us closer together. And I think that's the case with Mila and I personally, but I think that's also the case with all of our team here. And I'm definitely very grateful for that.
Cheers.
Cheers
Cheers.
to that.
Cheers to
Yeah,
that.
cheers to that.
Now with everyone.
Another one. Next one. Well, I mean, I have to say that I'm grateful to be healthy, and all my family and loved ones, they're healthy. We're living in really uncertain times in the world, and I have to say, that there's gonna be a lot of restaurants that are gonna disappear, unfortunately. But as you said, in these uncertain times, what I've been seeing is like the restaurant community is being more and more engaged and more together than ever before. DC is a small town, so we feel it, So it's not gonna be a happy ending, but I'm grateful that at the end, we will all be coming together as one force. So cheers.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. L'chaim.
Different one. Oh my god.
So yes, I'm grateful because like Thea and Ruben say that now we are more closer and we can connect with our other Instagram family, even besides of this online, and we still can do things that we like help the NGOs that we have and all that.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
No,
Cheers.
And we switch, yeah. Switch in. Cheers.
Really, that's exactly what, very similar to what I was going to cheer to. I feel so moved by the power of technology. I feel like I talk a lot about Zoom fatigue and, you know, wanting to disconnect, but in moments like this, I'm so grateful. I have never been inside the Immigrant Foods restaurant, but I feel so connected to you all through technology, through email and Instagram and all of the ways that we've communicated. And similarly, I started working at OneTable at the beginning of March. The vast majority of folks on my team and even the vast majority of folks in our community here in DC, I've only met over the phone or over video chat. And I just feel so grateful to be a part of this community, to be a part of this community, to be a part of DC, and to be able to connect even without, you know, so physically distant but socially connected via the internet. So I'm just very grateful for technology in this moment.
Absolutely. So are we. Absolutely.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to
Cheers.
that. Yeah.
And that's it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for everybody who is watching. Definitely, we're going to keep this on Instagram TV, so you can come back and watch it later today or tomorrow, or even over the weekend. Although I'll definitely encourage you to make something for Friday night and make that Friday night magic happen.
Great. That's wonderful. If I can just do a quick promo.
Please,
Next week we have a comedy night here at Immigrant Food.
Ooh.
I think that'll be really fun. So Annie, you should definitely tune in. I hope all of you will too. So it's actually going to be on our patio outside, socially distanced. So we're taking over the entire sidewalk with 4 amazing local immigrant comedians. And that's also going to be streamed on Instagram. So if you want to follow along and make sure that you have it on your calendar, go to immigrantfood.com, sign up for a newsletter, or follow us on Instagram.
Amazing. And what day is that?
It's going to be on Friday, next Friday, at 6:30 p.m.
Okay, some pre-Shabbat
Exactly.
laughter. I love it. I love it. And whether you're watching this on Thursday or on Friday or later, this Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. Pacific, OneTable's rabbinic intern Erin Levin is going to be doing some amazing ritual as always. So I hope that you tune into that as well. Happy Thursday. Shabbat Shalom.
Thursday.
Thursday. Thank you.